Good afternoon, everybody. Going to go over our Forex trades for today, January 19th. Finished down 17.9 pips. The killer was the swing trade in dollar yen, which we'll go over in a minute. We did have a correlation trade, which didn't work out that great. We were down in it the whole time. This morning, we finally got profitable by a smidgen, so we took it off to free up the cash to move on. But first, we're going to go over that in a second. First, let's talk about the economic news that's come out this morning or last night. In the past 12 months, central banks have liquidated a record $405 billion in U.S. treasuries, and China has sold the most since 2011. So you have to ask yourself why. That came out last night or late yesterday afternoon. This morning, initial jobless claims crashed to 44-year lows, the government is telling us, which means that should be a great number. And we always say the initial jobless claims is a weekly number. It doesn't carry much weight. So the claims crashed to 44-year lows, but over 700,000 more people are on jobless benefits since Donald Trump was elected in November. So the initial jobless claims number, it's a weekly number. It's extremely flawed, probably not even worth paying attention to. Although you have to because it comes out. It's an absolute joke that it's at 44-year lows. We all know the jobless market is horrible. Housing starts came out better than expected, although housing permits missed. So pretty much a wash there. Philly Fed beat, so that was a positive. And then the rest of the news today was really centers around the ECB. They kept interest rates unchanged. But Mario Draghi and the ECB really confused markets, in our opinion. They leave the interest rates unchanged. They keep quantitative easing at 60 billion euros a month, but they say they may revise it higher or lower. He goes on to say incoming data point to somewhat stronger fourth quarter growth, but then says risks surrounding the recovery still to the downside. A need to decrease QE is still a high-class problem, and he says we're not. What we're going to do in the future wasn't discussed at their meeting. So here's the street. Here's this guy saying they're leaving QE the same. They could raise it. They could lower it. Saying the risk is to the saying the fourth quarter growth looks like it's going to be stronger than expected, but yet the risk is to the downside. And that they didn't discuss what they're going to do in the future. I mean, you got to be kidding me. He completely, in our opinion, he completely confused the market. Didn't take a stance one way or the other. That's very wishy-washy, just like almost every other central bank. And Mario Draghi from the ECB was actually the one central bank that wasn't being wishy-washy. The Bank of Japan, the Fed. The Bank of England, they've all been wishy-washy in their comments. Well, this guy just joined their club. Anyway, so let's go over the trades. First, the correlation trade, which was in Euro Yen and Swiss franc Japanese Yen. The signal was to go long Euro Yen. We had 40% of our normal size, went long 122.308. And you can see what happened. It trailed down over a few days and still finally started to rebound yesterday and last night. So obviously they're highly correlated. Swiss franc was doing the same. We were short. Now Swiss franc to Japanese yen, we were short 20% of our normal size, or half the euro yen, because it's not a long-term correlation. It's more like a correlation type scalp. We don't want to be in it very long. If we could be in it for a few hours or a day or two, great. If we're in it for a week or so, so be it. But what's happening is this is the play here. And the Swiss franc is offsetting our risk tremendously because it's highly correlated. So even though as the euro yen was going down, the Swiss franc Japanese yen was going down as well, we only had half the size that we had euro yen. So the short was not making up for the loss. The gain in the short was not making up for the loss in the long position. And then when things started to rebound in euro yen, you could see what happened here. And we actually, like I said in the beginning of the video, we were down the whole time. We got to flat. We got to up, marginally being up. We said let's take it. Probably left it on some on the table because it looks like it started to run a little bit harder here, even a little bit harder than the Swiss franc, Japanese yen. But in the end, we took out, we sold it out at 122.463, or picking up 15.5 pips, or size adjusted 6.2. And then conversely, with the position in Swiss franc, Japanese yen, we were short 113.997, covered 114.156 for a loss of 15.9 pips, or size adjusted 3.1. Because remember, we had half the size that we had in our euro yen. Euro yen, we had 40% of normal. Swiss franc, we had 20% of normal. So in the end, we picked up a few pips on the trade. Was hoping it would work out a little bit better than that, but it is what it is. This was the killer. The swing trade that we had, 20% of our normal size. Really kind of fighting the trend here, or the little bit longer term trend, at least the trend since the election in US dollar Japanese yen. Although the trend in US dollar Japanese yen over the past few weeks has been to the downside. So we got the signal to go short, 113.75. We went short there, and it just blasted. I mean, it blasted right through it, blasted through anything that could be viewed as resistance, and our stop was basically 105 pips, and that's what we lost. We got filled actually at both prices, 113.75 and 114.80, for a loss of 105 pips, or size adjusted 21. And you can see what it's done. It's gone even higher against us. So obviously it was completely wrong trade. Those things happen though. So that's it. We're going to wrap it up. If you're still trading now, good luck. If any signals come out, they'll be coming your way. And we'll do a video. Most likely won't be trading tomorrow because it's the inauguration. Probably don't want to take that event risk. We do have a correlation position that we've been holding for a few months now. We'll continue to hold. So that's it. We're going to wrap it up. Like I said, most likely won't have a video for tomorrow. Hopefully have one for Monday. Have a great day.